Hello, my name is Eric Cormier, and welcome to another episode of Alliance Chamber Southwest Louisiana Insider. Today, our guest is Dr. Dan Groft. He's head of the H.C. Drew Center for Business and Economic Analysis at McNeese State University, to which the Seed Center Business Incubator and Alliance and Chamber are located here in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Our topic today is economic analysis and what COVID-19 has led to when it comes to Southwest Louisiana's economy. Dr. Groff, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Yes, sir. So let's get to it. You're
All right.
doing the analysis. You're looking at the numbers. How is the Southwest Louisiana region doing right now economically from a statistics vantage point?
From the latest available data we have, and this stuff is constantly changing. There's new data constantly coming in. New things are always popping up. So what I've been trying to do is track all the data that's coming out relative to our area. And, some of it is public, some of it we get from local sources. But what we're seeing is, like, if you put this in the context of the nation, the country lost about 20.5 million jobs in 1 month. That's a lot. And the unemployment rate skyrocketed to 14.7%. And that's up from like 4.4% in March and 3.4% in February. So there's been a drastic spike, a real increase in joblessness. Now, when it comes to the state, we lost about 240,000 jobs in a month, right? And so our unemployment rate is now at 14.5%. And we have about 320,000 people collecting unemployment insurance continuously. So the state will probably pay out, with federal assistance, probably get to $2 billion. And the state has also received about $7.3 billion in PPP loans, actually. So a lot of businesses took advantage of that. But I wanted to talk about our area a little bit and what we've seen. So when it comes to the employment statistics for our Lake Charles area, this is on our website. This is just what I track. When you look at jobs in our area here, we lost, in terms of employment, we lost about 15,000 jobs over the year. So, or over the month. So that's about a 14% decrease. Over the year, we lost about 20.3%. So that's where it looks like in terms of jobs. Mm-hmm. So we're really just tracking all the data, trying to do everything that comes in. There's something I have to point out, right. Everybody who listens, all right? Everybody who listens about our area is getting hit with a double whammy in terms of these statistics, right? Because part of it, if you look at construction in our area, so this is construction in our area, this is something that we all expected, right? Is our major projects, especially the LNG projects and things like that, as those wrap up construction and begin operation, we're expecting drops in construction employment until the second wave was coming. But so part of this drop that you're seeing in our MSA was coming from construction, which wasn't expected. The COVID-19 was affecting more of the service area. So you'll see that this drop in employment in services, that was much more, that was unexpected. That's a much more sharp drop. So the MSA, our area, Southwest Louisiana, is getting hit from the construction side and it's getting hit from the services side. So you are seeing big drops in employment in this area. And our unemployment rate now, the Lake Charles unemployment rate, which I'm going to show you, has shot up to about 14.5%. So, wow. Yeah, so we have gotten hit pretty hard. We have a lot of tourism. We have a lot of, gaming. And the only other two MSAs that have higher unemployment rates than us are New Orleans, which has, lots of tourism, lots of COVID cases, and Hammond. That's a little thing I need to know more about. So we have the third highest unemployment rate of the area. So what you're seeing is that this is going to be these numbers are comparable to Rita, to what this area saw in Rita. Mm-hmm. Very comparable, but there's no rebuilding to do. right? So after Rita, you had this huge spike up in unemployment for a couple months. Then it came down as people start getting back to work and we start rebuilding the area. Now we're kind of like, how fast is this going to open up? How fast are people going to start spending, going out, going to work, and things like that?
Right.
So yeah, there's lots of stuff we've been tracking here. Don't know if I want to get into all of it for you.
Give us a
Go ahead.
little. Just hit two. Let's hit two sectors real quickly. The industries and hospitality, and maybe I don't know. Do you have anything on sales taxes? I mean, and revenue. What are the numbers showing right now?
Okay. When it comes to manufacturing, we saw a little drop, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure how much of that was due to the big drop in oil prices and nobody's buying oil, so there's not as much refining. But the good part is that a lot of our major industries were still going during this. They were considered essential. So that was very good, and that helped a little bit. Mm-hmm. You talked about the service sector. Like the country and the rest of the state, we experienced about a 45% drop in employment over the year in the hospitality industry. Leisure and hospitality, which includes hotels, foods. The country, the state, all saw like a 45% drop. So that is something to really keep in mind. Mm-hmm. Retail trade fell a lot, but when you look at the data, it's broken down into an industry, a big sector called trade, transportation, and utilities. Mm-hmm. Transportation and utilities were still essential. So if you take out retail trade, it wasn't as bad. The tax revenues I'm still waiting on, and that's another thing with Calcasieu. You're going to see, as these projects wrap up, a lot of the building materials, a lot of the big drivers of the big increases in sales taxes that Calcasieu was seeing. Well, part of that's going to come down naturally as these projects end, but we don't know yet. The data should be coming in the next couple of days. We did get some Jeff Davis sales taxes. What I was going to show is that grocery stores have been doing very well, right? Those were, I'm going to talk about this. Grocery stores, here's grocery stores right here for Calcasieu. This is cell phone data. I should explain it a little more. This is how many people visit, and this gives you an overview of visits to different types of industries throughout the area. The orange line is last year, and the green line is this year. So if I'm looking at Calcasieu Parish, and this is grocery, it's very high. So you're going to hear a lot of stuff about the state being hurt by sales taxes because the state doesn't tax food prepared at home. There's a tax exemption for that. Right. But a lot of the parishes do already. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with sales tax. Hopefully the locals will not be hit as hard as the state. So that is what's happening. In terms of the other industries, we're also tracking people going to different types of industries. If you look at restaurants, once the governor's stay-at-home order hit and it all went to drive-through, we were all down, but it's slowly coming back up as we got into phase one. That's true with the casinos as well. You heard about the lines, forming outside as people coming in. So we're working our way back up. It just depends on how quickly. Hotels as well, they are going up as well, but we saw big drops in the month of April. Big drops in the month of April in revenues. Revenues fell, let me see here. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Revenues fell about 59% over the year in April. There weren't too many people coming. The occupancy rates, like how many rooms are actually occupied, were below 35%. And the rates, what it cost, went down about $14.50 in April. So we had big drops in those sectors, but hopefully this is showing us creeping back up, and we're only in phase one. So if the governor announces today we can enter phase two next week, hopefully we'll see these even better and the recovery will be quicker. But I'm not seeing a big V, like a lot of people are talking. It might be a little longer.
Right. Well, Dr. Groft, we got to cut it right there. We're running out of time. We're going to have you on again and provide more information. With that, I'm Cormier. And this is Alliance Chamber Insider. Until next time.
Thank you.